morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Man Talk with Dougie. The topic is a continuity of last week. We discussed about the boy child and who is to blame. Na tukaongea mengi, na tukajadiliana mengi. A disclaimer, we are not perfect. Sisi hatujui, tungependa mtuulize maswali yenu ndio tuweze kujadiliana. We would like you to give us your comments or your opinions on a screen that should, number that should be on your screen. But before we start again, please say hello to the audience.
Okay. Hello, thanks Dougie for hosting me again today. James Mashare is my name, born again. I serve at PCS Maman as an elder, and professionally I'm a finance and tax consultant. That's basically who I am.
Very well.
Father to many.
Yes.
Yes.
Expecting, hoping.
Expecting and hoping God to bless us with more kids.
All right. So, Jemo,
yeah.
Karibu sana. Njoro says he's a bit late, so we're hoping he's still going to surface. When he comes in, he will join us. But just to jog us out to the conversation we had last week, tukiongea kuhusu boy child, we looked at the challenges that the boy child is going through. And we asked each other, shida iko wapi, ilitoka wapi? One of the things that was a conclusion for our show is the realization that that child, whether the boy or girl, the responsibility of bringing up these children ni ya watu wangapi?
Wawili.
Ni watu wawili.
Yes.
Both the father
and
both the mother.
Yes.
And that has been coming out a lot in the week when we are engaging with people who get to watch the program. But then there was demand for us to continue with this again. And as we get to look into that, ni vizuri tuweze kuangalia what is the role of different functions about the boy child. Na tuliguzia kidogo last week. What is the role of the church? What is, and the groups that have something to do with the boy child? What is the role of the government? Community inaingilia wapi na kama ina kazi ya kufanyia hapo? Women or the girl child? Hata sisi kama wanaume. What is our role inside there? But so that we can just get to do that, let us just jog our minds again to Julize. What is manhood? Because we want them to be men.
Yes.
Manhood ni nini Jemo?
Okay. Thanks, Dougie. I think even as we...
In fact, what is the measure? Not what is manhood.
Yes.
What is the measure of being a man?
Okay.
To say I am a man.
Okay.
What is the measure?
Okay. I'll take you back in times. After colonization, then of course there were those, our dads, who are basically the first generation that came out of colonization. I think our dads, I think back then their core thinking of what a man is was basically more of provision. And that is why you find back in the days, the likes of our dads, them what they used to do, they would go work in the city, come on Friday, they do not even have time for you. All they need is, all they thought about you as the children is, have you eaten? Have they paid for your school fees? And, you know, are you doing the other chores? So basically the parenting, or rather the other aspect of parenting was taken over by the woman.
There is a story that men say, yes. Wanasema kwamba women wanaweka chini sana. And sometimes wanapita kwa nyumba, and mama says, hata huyo ni mwanaume tu.
You see now,
hata huyu alizaliwa tu na mama, you know, na mwanamke. So that is the measure of what could become a mwanaume.
No, that's where I'm coming. Because back then, and that is something that has even been instilled in us, that mwanaume was to provide. It did not take this other aspect of, you need the ministry of presence for your family ought to be there. Because wazee walikuwa tu watafute.
Ministry of presence or presence?
It is not presence. Presence, you know, kuwa hapo, being there for them. And you know, there's this word that people connote of absent dads. If you look at ages za kina wazae wetu, most of them were absent dads. Because kazi yao ni kwenda tao, wanatafuta pesa, wakishatumana fisi imelipwa na nini, akikuja Friday, amelewa, asubuhi Saturday mmeonana mmeenda kwa shamba, jioni naenda kupatana na wazee wengine, Monday asubuhi amechomoka.
Na si ndio Njora anasema, hiyo ndio kuhaso.
So you see, now that is what was defined back then. But now these are the generation that came after our dads, which is our generation. Tumekuja tukajua, of course, in as much as you're hustling, And because this has come out because of ile masomo hata tumesoma. And we have moved out of the cocoons zile za gishagi na nini na nini. Umetembea to other places, so you've seen how other people are doing things. So that has actually changed the way we look at parenting as the dads. And that is where you'll find some of us even can spare some time to be with our families. And to which, if you are to talk to some dads of back, that older generation, kuambia tuko na time na familia yako, watakuuliza kwani wewe ni mjinga. As in, ilibaki tu watoto ni wazaliwe, ukizaa, walishwe, wakue, wachomoke. Sasa. Yes.
Hiyo ndio ilikuwa the measure of manhood.
That was the measure of manhood, and
according to the society.
Yes.
Sindio?
Yes.
But what should it be?
Okay. What should it be?
Yes, to be a man, that boy child, that man.
Yes.
What should the measure be?
Okay. One, looking at the measure of what a man is supposed to be doing. Of course, we have the key roles of a man. One is being a provider, which our dads used to do very well. Okay? Then there is also about being the priest in that house.
Yes.
Isn't it? Which some did, others did not.
Yes.
There is an aspect that they failed.
Yes.
Then about being the protector in that house.
Yes.
In that house. Okay?
Yes.
Then even being the prophet. You know, somebody who is able to buy the aspirations of the children. You know, all that aspect. But for you now to be a fully rounded kind of a dad, there's no way you can be a priest if you're not interacting with the people that you're supposed to be preaching to. You need time. There's no way you can be a reverend if you're not meeting the people in the church or in their farms. So for you to be a priest in that house, you need to interact with the people that you are acting on behalf.
So here brings a confusion.
Yes.
From the African context.
Yes.
To be a man, kukua mwanaume, you are hard, you don't cry, you have no soft emotions, you are the provider, umejenga manyumba, una gari kubwa, watoto wanaenda shule mzuri, umesomesha you've got the hardware, isn't it?
Yes.
But then the women came and said, and research went and said, you know what, men, mnakuwa hardware sana, mnapoteza software.
Yes.
Can you relax and say that every man akona the feminine part of him?
Yes.
Vile akona boy, akona the small boy ndani, bado kuna
it's not
so
really,
therefore
it's not really the feminine. It's not the feminine. Ngoja hapo umepotea.
Ngoja nimalize tu. So mimi nilisikia feminine.
Okay.
So that sasa so you relax kidogo, wekelea mikono juu, miguu juu, pika hata wewe ukuwe na siku ya kupika kidogo, si ndio? Kama ni chapo, nyinyi wote, si ndio? Relax. Hata sisi tunaenda job. Ni half. So the man relaxed a bit. Isn't it?
Yes.
So that akuwe na hiyo what the man should be. He spends time at home. He helps in the chores at home. Hapo haikuharibu ndio. Is that not where things started going wrong? Okay. Tukakuwa soft, tukakuwa soft.
No, I'll take you back to the Bible. Why was Eve created? Okay, Njoro alisema Eve was created to be entertainer.
Yes.
Ati ni karedi umeletewa. Lakini Eve came in as a helper.
To help him.
Yes. Anakusaidia nini? So ile vitu mboga anafanya ni wewe unafaa kufanya, it's only that anakusaidia.
Umemfundisha
hata hiyo kulea watoto ni yako, it's only anakusaidia.
Na mimi naona kama tunasukuma hii agenda. Itaenda ituzumbue. Because sasa nitakuta vyombo niende niuambiwe ni ebu nionyeshe. But apart from that.
Okay.
So the boy child belongs to the society.
Yes.
Isn't it?
Yes.
And the society entails a number of functions that are within us.
Yes.
And we said we want to speak. Tuzichambue tu kidogo tuone role yake ni gani.
Yes.
So, twende kanisani.
Yes.
Does the church have a role ya kutafuta boy child kule yuko? Kumulete karibu, kumenta boy child, akipotea kumrudisha laini, akona hiyo. Hata kabla tuende kwa kupotea kurudisha laini, kanisa, does the church have a role in vile huyu boy child atakuwa?
The church has a very big role. And you see, the church starts with you and me. There is no church without me and you. Okay? But now, coming back to the church has a very big role. One, to mentor them that have already come to the church. And, show them this is the right way of living. It also has a role of even reaching out to them that have not come to the church. And I remember last time we said, Jesus Christ came for them that are sinners, not for the righteous.
Yes.
Yes. So the church has a bigger role of going out there and getting those young men, those men who have actually been lost into the world. Those drunkards, those drug addicts, them that, do not really revere about God. Those are the people that the church needs to go out there and get them.
Perfectly said.
Yes.
In Swahili, they would say, swadakta.
Yes.
You are an elder of the church.
Yes.
Sasa hapa ndio majibu yako utaona kama utakatwa yadhe ama kama.
Haina shida.
The church, and you've said very well,
yes.
The church's responsibility is to do this.
Yes.
The church should do this.
Yes.
Swali ni, na ni mimi na wewe,
yes.
Sababu ndio tuko.
Yes.
Kanisa inafanya hivyo. There is the church reaching out there? And I want to say this.
Yes.
We read in the church, nani utangaza kwenyu matangazo?
As we do digital way, but of course in most cases, in other churches, initially it was the registrar or
yes.
the assistant registrar.
Yes.
Yes. But as we do digital.
So when is it shown?
It's on Sunday.
As in, time ya muhodhi or?
No. It's programmed. Tukiingia tu hivi after the intercessory.
It is time for announcements.
Yes.
Munanyamaza, munaona TV.
Mnasikiza. Tuna watch TV.
I must come there.
Kuja karibu.
Kwetu kuna jamaa ndiye huika. Ndio usema sasa matangazo. And we've got announcements that say their jobs, they are going for the youth. We encourage the youth to attend those jobs. Yes. Is that enough? Is that it? Or that is not even part of it?
Those announcements are basically...
and I'm asking they're trying to reach out to the boy child, if the announcements that are done digitally or by verbal communication, if they are enough to get to say we shall have a seminar, that will be. I know the PCA have got a youth activity that is happening in the next couple of weeks.
Yes.
They're asking for 2 youth from every parish.
Yes.
Is that enough?
It's not. It's not even a 1% of what needs to be done.
What can we do? I
think we need to be very intentional in reaching out to Boychild. You see, it is when Girl Child Empowerment started, it was intentional. There were various forums that were put in place to call these girl child, to call these women to come and participate and even share and talk about things that are pertaining to them.
Even within the church?
Even within the church, back in the days. But now, for us to be able to reach out for that boy child, we need to be very intentional. If it is something that is to talk about boy child, let's have these forums. And these are forums that need to be planned and communicated well in advance. You see, there is this notion of us men, ati tunakuwaga busy sana.
But
and that is why I said last time, sisi wenyewe ndio tunajiangusha. Tunakuanga busy sana. Sasa ndio tufikiwe sisi wenye tuko busy. Of course, announcement ya Sunday na kitu ina happen on Friday, hata ikisemekana sitapatikana.
Uko busy?
Yes, nitakuwa busy. But announcement yenye inaweza run for 3 weeks, you at least itakuwa ina click.
So let's go
I can be able to put on my calendar and say, on this date, I'll be having... Look at even the ratios and dowries that people attend. It is planned 2-3 months down the line. How many men do you see? There are many. Because they've already programmed their mind.
Yes.
That on this day, I'll be here and I'll be attending this event. That is the same case that we need to be intentional, even on those forums that we are planning for the boy child.
Within the church,
yes,
the missionaries came with a couple of things.
Yep.
They brought education.
Yes.
They brought medicine because tulikuwa tunaenda tunatupa mtu ukiona kama ana si ndio? They brought education, they brought medicine, they brought the Bible, si ndio? And they also stopped some cultures like FGM, isn't it? So which favored the girl, isn't it? But because it was FGM was a tradition, and I'm not for it. But because it was a tradition, they picked one and left the other one as a measure of manhood, of course. But it means then that they also are biased. So the supporting the girl child started quite a while back.
At that point, yes.
We've got the Women's Guild. And we've got women's within the church, Sure, and all of those ones, isn't it? Are the restrictions for men as stringent as they are for women? Tuseme PCMF ile sisi tunajua.
Dougie, you and I, we are elders in the Presbyterian Church. And I think we know these things because we are members of PCMF. And just of late, I think the age bracket for the guild was removed. I think now any woman who is even 100 years can actually join.
At least in some parishes, in a couple of many parishes,
yes. But now for men, for that man to become a full member, not even full member of PCMF, full member of the church, there are other restrictions that are put.
Wedding
that is critical. But you'll find there are ladies who are single, they have children, but wameingia guild. But they are allowed to serve in the church in different capacities.
I was being told.
But kuna mwanaume alibaki, bibi akatoka akaenda US ama wherever, na hata irudi. But this guy tumemfungia tu. He cannot even serve in the church.
Today morning, we were speaking about single ladies. And somebody said, single ladies, ni mtu yule yuko single, na amefika 60 na sasa kuendelea. Now one of the ladies said, mimi sijakaribia hata hiyo 60. Mimi nisiwekwe line ya single ladies. Mimi niko waiting. So for the PCMF, for the men, yeye sasa amesha cross hiyo ameenda. But again we are saying for the church, and you said PCMF and the men in the church, what can we do? And viewers, we really want you to be part of this conversation because you're in the communities. Mothers are watching, wives are watching, our brothers and sisters are watching. What is it that we can do within the church to pull the men in, to pull that boy child, to bring that man in? We seem to have embraced women and accepted them in. And even for those who are not wed in church, naambiaga na uambie mzee sasa ni wakati afikirie hiyo maneno. But kumbe kuna kina mama wengi sana ndio wanakataa hiyo harusi.
Wengi.
Na sisi hatuoni hivi. So we need to cut some slack. Let's go to the next item of government. Is the government doing a lot? What has the government done? And we are not politicians. Gava imefanya nini kusaidia boy child?
I'll give you a case about government. And this is a case that I think it's, people have talked about it. Where you find a 16-year-old boy. They happen to be in a relationship with a 16-year-old girl. And somehow the girl maybe probably gets pregnant. And then unaweza sikia kijana amewekwa ndani. But sasa unaangalia pengine hata huu msichana ndiye alivuruta huu kijana kwa hii maneno. Si unaona? But now huu kijana amerushwa ndani. Ameulizwa nini? You know, there are some laws that were passed back in the days, which possibly back in the days they were good enough because there is a way they were able to cover the girl child.
Because the girl child had been left out
back
quite
then.
Some.
But now over a period, and that is why even when you have projects, there is what we call monitoring and evaluation. Somebody ought to have monitored and evaluated the laws that we passed back in the days. How far, after we've done the implementation, how effective are they? because you know it could be so effective that now it is actually pushing the other gender to the corner. And that is what has happened, and that is just one case. Utapata kuna vitu mingi sana, even I know, okay, of course of late I think court cases mambo ya child upkeep, I think court cases siku hizi wamekuwa kidogo, but back in the days ungepata hata mambo ya kuachiwa watoto yote inaenda kwa nani?
So there is a need to be able to have, first of all, the government iweze kuangalia pale tulianza, what we wanted to achieve,
did we achieve,
and the need, did we achieve that? Kuna kijana ambao tuliwacha mahali, kuna kitu ambao tulienda wrong, how do we bring the balance?
That needs to happen.
Today, if you go to the towns, you'll find that a majority of women, a majority of drivers are women. The jobs are with women. We are still empowering women. But sasa hata parliament, sina wanaume wengi. Kwa nini hawasaidii? Kanisani hiyo tumetaja, si ni wanaume wengi. I mean at the hierarchy of, isn't it? So we need to actively get to pull each other out.
And that's why I say it, Boychild has failed himself.
True. But let me bring another twist about the government, because the government is helping to try and save the community and the youth and the, you know, imeanza kufunga bar. Imeanza kufunga bar because of loud music, imeanza kufunga bar sababu watu wanakataa kusoma, wanaenda kuwa walevi, imeanza kufanya hivyo. But I think we are looking, it is a good thing, but directed at the wrong person in this way. In the bars within your mtaani, mtaani, to just think about your area, kule unaishi yoyote tu, isn't it? Those bars, ni nani wako kwenye hizo bar?
Wenye wanakunywa?
Wale wanakunywa. Wale ambao wanakunywa pombe halali, wale ambao wako na pesa ya kuafford hiyo pombe.
Ile halali, most of them are ladies.
Or ladies. And if they are men, what is the age group?
If they are men, age group ni rika 40s and above.
40s kwenda watu wako na job, watu wako na, they are able.
People who can afford it.
So even the government, as we are trying, and this is just my thought, as we are trying to save the youth, the boy child, the youth, whoever it is, isn't it? Our youth hawako kwa ba. Hawana pesa ya pombe. Hapana. Hawa wako kwenye Wines and Spirits to estate. Pale wanaenda wanakatana nusu-nusu, anaenda macho ikiwa red. A lot of the youth and the boy child hawavuti sigara. Hawakunywi pombe kawaida. Wanavuta bangi. And some of them have told me, you know what? Us guys smoke weed. Us guys do drugs. Sisi club bwana, hatuna biashara na kuwa club. Isn't it? Sisi tunapiga hizo vitu, music ndio tunataka kusikiliza after that. Keep chanting.
Na
mogoka na hizo sasa mahuti hizo. Ndio. So I think there is some way where that the cartel needs to be done, whether it is price regulation, whether it is times za kufunga na kufungua. So even if we complain that tunafungia watu kazi, sisi ndio tuna
I appreciate what the government is doing. Hiyo mambo ya kufunga hizo basi. It is good. Either way, whether ni wale wakubwa wanakunywa ama ni akina nani, it is good. But even as we do that, we need to look at the root cause. Why are most men running into those bars? Those bars, men go there, one, because they need to socialize. And they are going to places where they cannot be judged.
Judged to socialize?
No, where they cannot be judged kuonekana wewe ni mlevi ama you are failure or something. Some men in their houses hawezi kaa. Sababu akikaa tu ni kuuliza wewe ni mwanaume wa aina gani. Ama sasa sababu umekuja unafikiria tulikula nini? Unaitisha nyama uliacha za mboga. You know, that kind. So this guy
unaogopa kuuliza chumvi.
Yes. So this guy would most possibly feel comfortable akiwa pale sababu pale kwa maboys hakuna venye ati mtu atakujaji nini. Kama nayo kanusu kamekuja mnagawana
na kuongea politics.
Na mnaongea politics na ball.
Kuongea jua imeakujeshi na football vitu kama hizo times inafika.
Na wenye wanakula mogoka hata stories jua anatoanga hapi azishagi.
Stereo. Stories zinaenda
tu na azishagi sasa. So I think and I think for me, if we are thinking of empowering the boy child, I think the first thing that we need to do, and that is for everyone, me as a dad, as an elder, as a father, as a, you know,
as a member
of the community, is about first encouraging this young man to understand that you do not need to have 100,000 in your pocket for you to be called a man. That it doesn't, manhood is not defined by how much you have. And success is not defined on how many the kind of cars you are driving, ama the kind of house that you are living, ama whatever you're able to provide for you. First, you need to love yourself. It's about showing them their self-worth.
Perfectly said.
Yes.
And for the girl, that the boy or the man does not need to have that money to be lovable, to become a man, isn't it?
On Sunday, sorry to cut you short. On Sunday, I had a session with young adults in our church. These are young guys, boys and girls who've finished Form 4. So now they're in college.
Yes.
And there are some that are already in college and some have already now wameanza kupata kazi. And there is this verse about building your house on a sinking sand. You know, the story of the foolish in Matthew. And there's something that I told them. You see, if when you're tuning a girl, wewe ukienda kukatia ule dem unamkatia ati na ile pesa uko nayo, kazi yako tu ni kumbaia pizza na nini, you know, is that pizza sustainable?
It is not sustainable.
It is not, because you are basically depending on your father's ama your parents' money. So wakati your pizza itakuja ikose, this girl will not love you.
I was going to that point and saying that many a boy are tuning a girl and they're impressing because, you know, that is our home, that is our shamba, let us have mimi. In fact, at a point where, if you remember, we used to take, boys used to take girls for a date.
Yes.
Wakikula chips ya nasema haskinja, sababu pesa haitoshi.
Haitoshi, yes.
But the question is, for girls, if that husband of yours, that guy you want to marry, that boyfriend you think I like him, kama hana hiyo gari,
would you still love that guy?
Ungesimama bus stop na yeye, would the relationship be the same?
Would it still hold? And you see, even as they are dating, there are those that will date a guy because this guy has a good job. Kazi na katika 3 years down the line. There is unaona 3 years down the line, mzai kijana job imeisha, unasikia dem aliponyoka. Na
ndio unasikia dem akianza kupata pesa mingi zaidi, mzee anaanza kunyeshewa, anaanza, si ndio? Kuna gari ya mama amejinunulia na mzee huwa haguzi hiyo gari. Labda abebwe. You know, even the way the man, you know, ladies, a man wants to be felt he's a man. Because as you're talking about the measure of being a man, there is ego also. Kuna kalo nataka ukienda.
Yes, we are egoistic.
Mimi ni mwanaume bwana. Tupatie ndi gari yenu tuendeshe tukienda mbele ya watu. Ni yako. Ni watu wanajua, sio? Don't say mimi nilinunua na pesa yangu. Msituaibishe mbele ya watu.
Na uwakumbushe pesa yako ni yetu. Sababu yangu si yangu ni yetu. Hata wewe yako ni yetu.
Sasa hapo ndio iko sida. Pesa yangu ni yetu. Yako ni yetu.
Yes. It should be. Kwa nini isikue?
You see, we need to discuss about money matters someday and getting to know where we draw the line. Because, and that is the problem. You see, mama, amevaa. Na kuna watu huangalia hata kanisani yenu.
Yes.
There is a lady who is so well dressed. Na kanywele. Na viatu ni tule tumurefu tumukanye koko. Isn't it? Na nguo ko smart. Mzee kakola kameenda shati hata pasi haijapigwa pasi. Ukiangalia hii shati si leo tu haijapigwa pasi. Lakini mama nguo zake zimepigwa pasi. Hata kama ni kazi ya mzee tunasema she's the helper.
Na ndio nimesema
kiatu kimeinama, leather ngozi inaguza chini. Is it the man amejitolea nasema wacha mimi msijali mimi niwainue nionekane mimi ninaendeleza familia yangu.
Dougie, that used to happen back in the days. You'd see mzee amenunua mpaka bibi nini lakini wazee tuache ujinga. You need to love yourself. In as much as as you love yourself.
So you must first love yourself. So you may love your wife, you may love your child, you may love your jirani in equal measure.
In equal measure, yes. Jipende ndio uweze. You see, and that's why I talked about self-worth. Ukijijua wewe na ujipende, you can be able to radiate the goodness to them.
If you are not happy,
yes,
you cannot share
you cannot share happiness if you are not happy.
Is the man's life very miserable? By and large.
Well, for some men it is miserable. Mine is not. And this is intentional. You got to make your life interesting. You got to enjoy the ride. You got to enjoy the ride. Because hii maisha, see, this is not, hii si rehearsal.
Yes.
Ukijinyima ujinyime tena ufanye vitu zingine, utakufa, uende, na ile mali umeacha, wangu watabaki na wale
So the man, and I'll tell you, I'll be very honest.
Yes.
Yeah. My life is fun.
Yes.
My marriage is a great
yes.
marriage.
Yes.
And that must be the testimony people are giving.
Yes.
Because it is mine.
It is mine, yes.
She is my wife.
Yes.
They are my
children. Yes.
It is my family.
Yes.
I am the head of the house.
Yes.
I make decisions alongside her.
Yes.
Isn't it?
Yes.
And I think we need to take back our position, men. Because we need to get to realize that if we don't take back our position,
yes,
we are going down.
Yes.
There will be men being called Wainaina Nyoro, but there is no man.
Yes. But remember, there'll never be a vacuum. And that is, when you do not behave like a man, that is how the ladies are taking up that role and being the men.
Well, it seems that this is just getting to heat up now as we get to run into break. Ladies and gentlemen, there is a number I believe that is on your screens. We are on YouTube, we are on Facebook. Please send us your questions so that, or your testimonials or your comments so that we can get to have a conversation. We're taking a break. Don't touch the dial. This is Man Talk with Dougie. See you in a few.
Good.
And we see if at all there's anybody who has
Welcome to PCEA Abundant Hope Academy in Eldoret for primary section grade 1 to grade 6 and junior secondary grade 7. We have boarding facilities and we offer transport too. Interviews are currently ongoing. PCEA Abundant Hope Academy is located in Eldoret, opposite Rift Valley Bottlers along Mifugo Street, PO Box 863-30-100 Eldoret. For more information, please call us on 0725 666 512 or 0722 698 693. This is where your child should be. Welcome. The Presbyterian College of Health Sciences Rubate is now offering health-related courses. Intake is currently ongoing for the Diploma in Kenya Registered Community Health Nursing. Approved by the Nursing Council of Kenya, the curriculum sets the base to develop and qualify competent nurses who will diligently serve locally and internationally in the healthcare systems. The admission requirements are a C-plane mean grade in KCSE, C-plane grade in biology, physical sciences, English or Kiswahili. Candidates who meet the minimum requirements by the Nursing Council and are willing to join should make a request in writing through an application later downloadable from the college website. Located in Tharaka Nithi County, the Presbyterian College of Health Sciences Rubate has a well-equipped library, modern laboratory, computer lab, and demonstration rooms. For more information, call 0720-312-021, 0706-711-831 or 0737-141-401. Karibu.
Welcome back again. This is Man Talk with Dougie. Jemo and I are having a conversation about the boy child. Na hata maswali hatujaanza kuulizwa. Please send us. But again, a question, there are 2 questions. And we'll first address one question, which has been sent, and this must be a lady. Anasema, some of these men, we do everything from them, for them, from food to rent to fees, you name it. And Makiu, he earns a bigger salary than mine, 3 times higher than my salary. Yet I do everything. What do we call such people? Are they still men?
They are men, but I would say that, you know, when people are getting married, there are some things that I think you need to sit down and agree on.
Yes.
And that is why even when people are going through pre-marriage counseling, finance is one of the key aspects. Because finance is something that can actually break homes and marriages, where somebody could actually be making decisions that are against the wishes of the spouse. So if in this case, maybe the lady from the onset behaved like she's the one who is able to provide and do all these things, maybe the guy just ran with it and said, okay, you are proving you want to do this, then do it.
We mama wacha kulipa tu rent hivyo.
Yes.
Can we have a conversation?
Have a conversation.
Do you know something?
Yes. But she's a good woman, and tell her not to get weary in doing good.
Yes.
Galatians 6:9. Don't get weary in doing good. At some point, God will do his own things and the guy will come back. Yes.
There's something which our children don't understand about the fathers.
Yes.
Is that the father goes hunting, and I just want you to tell me if this is true, because mine is to just throw questions.
Yes.
The fathers go hunting, they go hustling,
Yes.
they come and bring the money to the mother.
Yes.
And because the father is not usually there many times, and the mother spends most time na watoto, so everything ni nani ataulizwa?
Of course ni mama anatoa.
So mama anaenda anasema mtoto anataka viatu.
Yes.
Isn't it?
Pesa inatoka.
Mzee anafanya?
Anatoa.
Ni nani ataenda kununua viatu?
Mama.
So nani alinunua viatu?
Ni mama.
And that is in the
child's
literally
eyes, yes, it is the woman.
In fact, literally, even the truth is,
Yes.
nani alitoa pesa?
Ni mama.
Si ni mama ametoa kwa duka.
Yes.
So umenunuliwa na nani?
Ni mama.
By the time we start saying mother, my love, my mother, I love my mother, ndiye amenilea, ndiye amenisaidia, mzee alikuwa anafanya kazi, hatujui alikuwa wapi, hatujui alikuwa anatumia pesa wapi. So there's a bit about fathers, even as we are running so hard kutafuta hii pesa.
Yes.
And that is the visibility you are talking about, to be visible, so that tuko hapo pia.
Yes.
Mzee anatoa school fees, mama anapeleka mtoto shule.
Yes.
Isn't it?
You see, and this is something that I tell men whenever I get opportunities to talk to them, like even in our church and in our district, like even take that time. Wakati kumeitano meetings za watoto shule, wewe enda.
Yes.
Moso kwanza kama huyu ni kijana, if this is a boy child, muende pale msikize venye mwalimu anaongea, because you can relate how you grew as a young boy back in the days.
And they have, and so which brings me back to this question asked by Nimrod Mbogwa.
Okay.
Anauliza, how does an absent father affect this boy child?
Okay.
Because absenteeism in my thinking could be kutafuta ama kupotea.
Yes.
And I think you mentioned it earlier, but just repeat it again.
You know, children learn more by seeing and copying what the parents are doing. There's no way your son will copy what you do as a dad if you're never available for this young man. This is part of the mentorship. Okay?
So they'll copy somebody else.
They will copy somebody else. And in fact, there's a question that I asked some men at some point, and I asked them, when you sit in your house, ama when you guys are going out with your family, does your son want to dress like you? By the way, does your son address people like you address people in your house?
The way you talk.
The way you talk.
The way you answer questions.
Yes, and the simple thing is, does he admire even the way you dress?
So that is another question.
If he does not, if your son cannot admire the way you dress, you are not a mentor to that son.
So let's change it and throw this to we men.
Yes.
Wazee, the way you dressed today,
Yes.
the way you dress kawaida,
Yes.
is that the way you would want your boy to dress?
That's the question.
Do you think your son would be proud of you the way you dress? If you see him dressing that way, is it a good example?
Exactly. And in fact, when your son is seated amongst the peers, is there a way that he commands the peers in a way that you command the peers when you're seated with your team? Like, you see, like now the way we are relating. If my son was to sit here,
would he listen?
would he be like how I'm behaving?
Or would he go and talk and be told, we umetoa hiyo maneno wapi? Because unajua kuna tutoto twa 5 years old wanaongea kama wazee wa 8 years
Ndiyo.
na kithrow maneno hapo hata wewe unatoka jasho.
Yes.
So there's somebody who said, hey Dougie and Jemo, thanks for the topic. For the church, and this is a church person, it seems, for the church, we need to look at the issues affecting men and look at how to help them, e.g. help them in matters of health,
Yes.
in financial growth,
Yes.
matters of depression,
Yes.
cultural issues,
Yes.
and matters of alcohol.
Yes.
Do you think that we need to have a men's seminar?
We do. That should be happening, and if there is any church that doesn't hold such kind of seminars, they need to start immediately. In our church, I can say we comfortably do that.
Yes.
During the man-to-man fellowships, where we hold men and health forums. We even talk about economic empowerment. We talk about how they can manage their finances.
Yes.
We even talk about how men can be good parents. We even have forums where we go with our boys and have seminars for us as men with our children, the boy child.
So when is the PCMF conference?
For the annual conference.
Yes.
It
It's happening anytime soon.
happens around March, April.
So I am keen to get to see the PCMF,
Yes.
senior PCMF.
Yes.
To get to see, I'm very keen
Yes.
to see who will go. Sindio? I'm very keen to see if the PCMF of your parish,
Yes.
yetu tuachane
Yes.
nayo tu.
Yes.
If parishes are going to say, so and so and so are not members of PCMF. Because you were looking for solutions.
But you see the ones, for that, these national conference for PCMF might not solve the issues that you are looking at hand now. Because wale wanaenda, I think it's only 2 or 3 people who are basically part of the full council, ama the officials of the parish.
So,
Sawa.
okay.
So hiyo itafikia huko na wataenda ongea mambo mingi. But whatever is shared at in those forums, it needs to come and trickle down to the man down there.
So,
Whatever they've been taught, they need to come and have a forum and share the same to the men in their parish and in their congregations.
so should we then say
Yes.
that we need to have a date with the PCMF leadership when they come from the conference
Yes.
to come sit here with us and tell us to address the man.
Yes.
This is what we have planned to do.
Yes.
Something that is tangible.
Yes.
So Kinabwana George Getao, who is one of the mentors of the PCMF congregation,
Yes.
we want to hear what advice he's going to give to us and the others out there.
Yes.
The PCMF director.
Yeah,
We need to take each other to task,
Yes.
Reverend Kaira,
Yes.
so that we can sit together and you can tell us, this is what we want to do for the men.
Yes. And we come and, address the
Issues
men.
as men to men, address
Yes.
issues.
Yes.
Tuache kusema, you see, we want to do this. We actually want to say, this is the plan.
Yes.
This is by when.
Yes.
This is how it shall be measured.
Yes.
And these are the KPIs.
Yes.
Isn't it?
Yes. And that, whatever is discussed at that national level needs to get pale chini, unaona ile bottom up kule chini.
Ndio.
Huko chini mashinani, it needs to get there.
Because I would like to see forums
Yes.
that get to have men discuss these issues as whoever has said this,
Yes.
brother or sister has
Yes.
said here.
Yes, yes.
I would be interested to get to see when the PCMF or the men's fellowship of whichever church or Christian groups of men get to invite non-members, sindio?
Yes.
Wakuje na sisi, tuendeni, tuelewe zaidi,
Yes.
isn't it?
Yes.
So that you can also come out and give a testimony.
Yes. And now, that is the church bit. There's something else that we need to do outside the church. By the time tungoje PCM organize hizo vitu, me and you, wenye tuko pale kwa kijiji, what are we doing?
Before you go that,
Yes.
haitafanyika. Juzi elections zimepita. Kuna jamaa alikuwa ni physically challenged. Alikuwa anataka kusimama MCA na alikuwa anapata kura mingi sana, mingi. Until Slay Queen kakatokea. Jamaa kawekwa kando, Slay Queen kama lipstick na nguo fupi ndani. Si ndio sisi hapa kijijini? Si ndio tunachaguana? Hata wanaume hatuchagui mmoja wetu, tunatafuta kamrembo.
No, that is why I'm saying whatever has happened, it is okay, it has happened. But we cannot live tutigitora tunyararaga tugaga uguo. We need to do something immediately. And that is now every man needs to start doing something. And how you start is in your house. Start being a mentor to your son. Start being a mentor to that son that is born of your sister who never got married.
And you know the competition is real because you have got daughters.
Yes.
And you have got boys or sons. So you're going to mentor them in equal measure.
Yes.
You're going to be that example.
Yes.
Isn't it?
Yes.
So fathers of boys, tuko na kazi
Mingi.
Because me, I think women, sisi, we've got a lot to blame about. Tuache kusema kina mama wametudhulumu hivi. Isn't it?
Hakuna mtu anaweza kudharau kama hujajidharau.
First of all, today, now that you brought that one, before I go to the point, who is man's biggest enemy?
The man.
Before tulikuwa tunasema woman was the man's biggest enemy.
No, it's the man.
Mama ndiye anaangusha mwanaume. The man is the man's biggest
Angalia enemy. Another video ilikuwa inazunguka. Mama ameuma kidole ya mzee.
Amemshika shingo.
Amemshika, anamchapa na mwenye anachukua video ni mwanaume.
Na kijana kaboy kanakuja kanadunga mzee.
Tukaona kwingine I think in Meru. Mzee anachapwa na vijana wake.
Na mama na wazee.
Yes, na wazee ndio wamekaa hapo wanaangalia. Like, can't you even tell the kids hii ni kasi mnajitafutia hapa? What kind of example are we showing to the young generation?
And you know, it comes around and we say,
yes.
And you're being very naughty as men, because globally there are 7 women to 1 in terms of ratio.
Yes.
So it's first of all very unbalanced.
Yes.
However, globally, men have got the most positions, the higher positions.
Yes.
Wherever it is. But they are still not helping themselves. Na sasa tunaenda kukuta hiyo gender equality itaanza kushuka because hatusaidiani. The girl child anasoma anaendelea. The girl child is being elevated by the man and by the woman.
Yes.
Isn't it?
Yes.
Boy child utajisaidia. Wenda ukuwe mechanic bwana.
Yes.
Wenda we jitafutie ulimaliza. And we have an assumption that kufanya form 4 ni kumaliza shule. Tunasema ulimaliza shule. Msichana anasukuma kuendelea, analelewa vizuri, anaweza olewa, asaidia mzee kuleta kitu, unaambia utaleta nini, gharama tupu tu. We are our own enemy because we are not supporting each other. And unfortunately there is no manual. Hakuna manual.
Actually there is no manual in parenting.
But there are disciplines.
Yes.
In 10 years time, will there be marriages? And I'm asking this because mabeste wameanza kuvaa nguo kama kina mama na kuvaa kucha na kuvaa nimeambiwa zinaitwa.
You see, that is
stilettos ama steel.
Hiyo ndio nimekwambia mambo ya mentorship. Sababu unaona kijana, you can imagine how many ni vijana wangapi siku hizi hata venye walikuwa wamefunga shule. Unapata nywele wamefanya nini? Karikiti na hizo mavitu. Would that, as a man, would you really allow such kind? Because huyu mtu akianza kufanya hizo vitu, kuna ile kitu anaadmire. Anaadmire venye mama yake anatengeneza nywele, so yeye anataka kuwa kama mama yake.
Yes.
Huyo ndio unataka aoe after 10 years. Na anataka kuwa kama mama yake.
What does the boy child need to do to rise up? Yeye mwenyewe.
To rise up, we need tutige kuinyarara. That boy child utige kuinyarara. Whatever you are doing, understand your self-worth. And don't look at, success like it's having all this money and amassing wealth. No. Be of good character.
Yes.
Be of good character. Because even the Bible says somebody who is of good character can actually dine with the kings.
Yes.
But be somebody who is not of good character. Hakuna mahali utaenda.
We are told that we are running out of time again. I think again our hour is shorter than usual.
Wow.
But clearly, do you guys think that we need the girl child one day to sit with us?
Maybe.
Ama taharibu maneno hapa.
No. Aletwe.
Because we want to know from the girl child, what would we want the boy child? What do we want to see of the boy child?
Yes.
And not these ones who say, I want sijui flowers, I want chocolate. We want somebody who really feels for the boy child.
If you want flowers, we unaweza toa hizo flowers. You know, I tell people, even them that are looking for marriage, you're looking for somebody who can marry you. Are you marriageable yourself?
Good question.
Ama wewe ni kaemte kasoda kalikunywa kitambo sana.
Ukuwe ni kujaza tu ni kuzuguma na una battery.
So look, you also need to have something that you're presenting on the table. Because even marriage is a commitment and it's two-sided. Both of us must be committed and it's a sacrifice.
Give us your parting shot.
My parting shot. Wow, to the boy child, we have a lot to do, but it starts with you as the boy child. It starts with you. Appreciate the little strides that you are making in life. You cannot wake up and be a millionaire. Start hiyo kazi kidogo unafanya, endelea na hiyo. And be of good character. If you're of good character, you'll attract the right people in your life, even that spouse that you're looking for.
Thank you very much,
Yes.
Jimo. Elder James Masharia, thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, we have learned that the child is brought up by both parents. Boy child, father, male, we need to pull up our socks so that we can stop making noise na kulalamika tumewachiliwa tuanze kujiinua sisi wenyewe. Boy child, the girl child is being pampered. The girl child is using us. The girl child is moving on. Tukijaribu kumuimpress. We get depressed. We are getting to commit suicide. We are getting to do bad things to ourselves because we are not able to keep up with this. Na sio wote ni wale ambao wengine who've got those issues. So let us wake up and smell the coffee. Rise up. Take your position. The man, you are the head of the home, you are the leader of the homestead, you should be part of the decisions being made. Haijalishi ni pesa ngapi unaleta or not, let us take our rightful positions. But because we have got issues and we can't continue, we've not even gone halfway from this conversation, but we need to take a break. Next Thursday, could we talk about marriages? Because of the way the man is, because of the way the man has been sukumwa to the corner, will there be marriages in 10 years' time? Will there be weddings? Will marriages last? Will there be marriages between the traditional man and woman?
So help us, God.
So help us, God. Until then, on Thursday, starting 8 o'clock, going to 9 o'clock, it shall still be Man Talk with Dougie. Good night and God bless.